Hello to my kings, queens, and in-betweens. I'm Valerie, and welcome to my channel, The Bookish Valkyrie. It's Monday the 10th, and it's time to update you on my reading for the weekend and where I am at today. I finished Here We Go Again on Saturday as we were headed up to the mountains for the weekend. We went and spent some time at the lake with my husband's family, and it was a good time. There wasn't much in the way of service, so I pretty much stayed disconnected the entire time we were there. I didn't get any sightseeing done for the last leg, and I'm not sure that I'll manage to get any sightseeing done this leg either, because we got our new location and prompt for this leg, which is Paris, France. And the prompt is to read an award-winning book. I picked A Lady for a Duke, and I'm so happy to be finally getting to this book. I then saw, when I got home and got better service, I saw in the Discord that I am very much not alone, and this is also going to be a buddy read for this leg. So that's fun and exciting. I have spent my morning listening to the audiobook. I have the physical copy as well, and I will probably be switching back and forth or reading it tandemly. And then I think if I have time, I will try to finish the third volume of The World's Greatest First Love, just so I can finish it and get it on my Pango shelves for sale, because I'm definitely not going to be reading those books again. They have not aged well. That is where my week is starting, and I will check in again with you soon.
Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side, no. Have me by your side when the sun sets. I hope you'll still want me. I hope you'll still need me 1,000,000 years from now. The seasons are changing, the nights ever fading. It's time we left the ground. Let's leave for an eternity. Let's sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love. It keeps me high, keeps me high.
Alright, so it is Wednesday the 12th of June, and I have not checked in since Monday. So I finished reading A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. I don't know, I enjoyed this. I saw some people making comments during the buddy read that they thought the bit towards the end, the dark moment, I guess you could say. So there is a portion of this book that involves a kidnapping, and a lot of people felt that that was unnecessary, and they felt like it took away from the story and it didn't really contribute anything. So they were very much questioning why it was included. And honestly, I had to think about it myself. I was like, I don't know. As I was reading it, I was thinking about it because I had seen the comments about the kidnapping part and how people felt about it. And so when I got to that part, I was reading it and I was like, I can't agree that it's out of nowhere. I can't agree that it's unnecessary. Basically, I think that the whole purpose of the kidnapping is to show how they can work together when outside forces are working against them, and solidify how powerless they aren't. Because there's a good chunk of this where both characters feel powerless. The Duke because of his injury, and the lady because of her circumstance of birth. And then on top of that, there's the relationship with the Duke and his sister, and how it has been rocky at the point of the kidnapping, and it helps solidify the connection there. It helps solidify their familial bonds and their alignment with one another on a level of us against the world. And honestly, I think that it definitely fits with the story. There's hinting throughout the section of the book before the kidnapping that somebody is up to no good, that maybe multiple somebodies are up to no good. So yeah, I didn't think it was awkward or like it didn't fit or like it came out of nowhere, which were the things that some people felt. To me, it made sense. To me, it was telegraphed before, and it fit with the story that was being told, showing how this relationship and how other relationships connected to this relationship work in the world and work when the world is against them. That's just my thoughts on it. I gave this 4 stars, and the only reason that I wasn't able to give it 5 really was that there wasn't quite enough joy. The challenging bits felt like they outweighed the joy parts. And even though the epilogue did a lot of heavy lifting with showing how they went on to be joyful, I just wish there had been a few more scenes past where it ended, with them, I don't know, reuniting with their other friends and family, with them spending time together after the dust had settled, and I wanted just a little bit more reveling in the joy of their love. There wasn't quite enough of that for me to give it a 5-star, but 4 stars is still great. The writing was actually really pretty. Alexis Hall has a very wide talent pool. I would say that their writing is not any one style. In his contemporary books, they are very modern feeling. There is very clear, concise language that's descriptive without being overly descriptive. And then when you get to the historical stuff, things get a little more flowery, and she's writing things that are a little bit more purple prose, a little bit more beautiful, but not overwhelmingly so. So I don't know. I have to say I really appreciate how their writing style changes from book to book to fit the story that's being told. And I think that is something that not every author can manage. I don't know. I really enjoyed this. And then I finished The World's Greatest First Love, Volume 3 for my sightseeing read for the Paris leg. I only managed to finish this one manga because yesterday I was pretty much out of the house the entire day and busy doing non-bookish things. This definitely was not as cringy as the first 2 volumes, if nothing else because the last 2/3 of it were telling the story of a different couple, and there was no dubcon there. It was probably my favorite couple that I remember from the anime, but reading the first section of their story, I don't know, even they didn't age terribly well. They kind of fall flat as a couple, which makes me sad because they're the ones that I remember liking the most from the anime. And maybe the anime is just a better format for this series, but it's been a really, really long time since I watched it. So, and I, having revisited this story or these stories through the manga, I don't think I will be watching the anime again either. Got that read, and so yesterday while I was out of the house, my phone starts blowing up with notifications for Discord because Brie has dropped another video, and this one is telling us all about a U-turn that will be handed out in the 6th leg of the Amazing Readathon. Basically, each team is going to be given 2 votes to allot to either 2 different teams or both to one team to give the U-turn to that team. And basically what that means is that whichever team gets the U-turn will have to do the 6th leg twice. And that means that whichever city prompt it is, they'll have to do that prompt and read 2 books for that prompt before they can arrive in that city and start sightseeing. So on the one hand, that doesn't sound terrible if you're someone who can manage 2 books in one leg. But on the other hand, if it happens to land in a busy time of your month, or if reading more than 1 book per leg is difficult for you, this is going to be a real challenge. But that being said, they do still get the points, so they'll get to count their pages along with the bonuses. So it's better than doing like some of the lower point value sightseeing. I don't know. I think that it's gonna definitely complicate things, but I wouldn't necessarily consider it a terribly punishing event or handicap. I don't know. Regardless, I think that that was a really fun addition because all of the teams get to strategize and discuss how they want to allot their votes, which teams they want to vote for, and this also brings in the aspect of the different teams associating with one another and making alliances or making enemies. It'll be interesting seeing who gets the U-turn and how they handle it. And then the coming weekend is going to be the face-off weekend. And then the final thing that I need to include in this check-in is the current leg. Brie dropped the new city prompt, and that is for Cape Town in South Africa. And the prompt is some piece of nature on the cover. She seemed to be leaning pretty heavily into the plant life aspect of nature, although I'm guessing some people may be leaning more towards like animals and insects and whatnot, because she didn't explicitly say no animals or insects, but the examples that she gave were all like plants or sticks or rocks or mountains or trees. So very terra firma. Basically, what I decided to go with is a witch's guide to fake dating a demon because of all of the vines and leaves. So I think that definitely meets the criteria for some piece of nature on the cover. Also, I really need to read this because I only have 4 more days on my Libby hold for the audiobook, and I need to read this for my online book club. So I really need to get this read so that I'm ready for whatever date the book club ends up picking. Genuinely don't remember what's supposed to be going on with this, but it's supposed to be like from what I understand, it's supposed to be kind of like a rom-com-y paranormal romance. And yeah, I will check back in with you once I have read a little further into this. I've only read the very first few pages, and so far she has summoned a chicken while trying to summon an air sprite, and then when she tried to send it back to wherever it came from, she accidentally exploded it. So I guess, content warning for exploding chickens. I will check in again with you later. Hopefully, I will do a better job with my check-ins going forward this week than I have done so far. If not, life got crazy and I apologize in advance.
Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second. I won't change my mind. What does getting deep now? What does getting deep now? Follow me around, yeah. Can you let me down? Please don't let me down. Yeah, 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 yeah. Baby, let me down. Can you let me down? Please don't let me down. Please don't let me down. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I am
Close your
6
eyes for a
chapters
minute.
into A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I am very entertained. I posted in my book club's Discord that I had finally started this, and somebody in my Discord actually knows Sarah Holly. She went to college with her, which crazy pants. I have to say that I find that very entertaining. I love being able to come across these strange connections that really do make this big world seem little. They also mentioned that this is supposed to be a Reylo trope. I think it's funny that a specific pairing has become a trope. Anyhow, I am, like I said, I am just barely past 6 chapters, so I'm still in the setup, but I can see that vibe in this setup. There's definitely, the height difference, and it's definitely the morally gray character with the morality chain character, because our character is very much a tree hugger in that she has a passion for the environment. She is right now winding down at a bar with her friends after protesting a deforestation situation, and her magic is interesting. Okay, so here's the setup so far. So our main character, Mariel, is a witch with a amazing gift for plants and like plant magic, but her family doesn't value plant magic. They like decidedly look down their noses about it, and she's kind of a disaster with every other kind of magic, as in the opening scene, she has accidentally summoned a chicken, and when she tries to send it back, it explodes. I think I mentioned this in the last check-in. So yeah, exploding chickens. And then after that, she tries to summon flour to make muffins with, and somehow that results in her summoning Azeroth, her new demon roomie. Because it was an accidental summoning, she's not looking to sell her soul. However, he's stuck until she completes the deal. And he can't be very far from her. As they are discussing their situation, her mother very inconveniently pops by, and when she tries to explain who he is, the first thing that pops into our head is, this is my boyfriend. I am having a good time with this one. I'm excited to be able to discuss it with my book club, and I'm going to continue on with this, but I'm going to pick up my Libby audiobook so that I can do some dishes, and I think I'm also going to work on pulling together a list of face-off weekend books, because the bonuses for genre and openly LGBT plus authors don't apply for face-off weekend. I honestly will probably still try to stay in the lane of either openly queer authors and or queer stories. This being the exception this month, I am wanting to, at the very least, have some sort of queer rep in everything that I'm reading this month. So yeah, I will check in again with you soon. Okay, so I am done with dishes and at chapter 15, which puts me at just under halfway there. So I am not sure where this is going. I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't understand what the end game is going to be. There's been no foreshadowing that I've caught yet showing how they get out of their predicament. So like, I understand where things are going on like a romance level. That's all pretty standard for this kind of dynamic. And I definitely am seeing the Raylo parallels, like down to the uncontrolled power. Like, they're very, very clear now that I'm knowing that I'm looking for them. I don't know that I would have picked up the Raylo on my own, but now that I know what I'm looking for, I'm definitely seeing it. I just am not sure how they're going to get out of this demon-packed soul business. I'm sure there's going to be a really straightforward thing that I should have picked up on by now, but I haven't. So I guess that Sarah Holly is doing a great job of leaving me in suspense about how things are going to resolve. I like their dynamic. I appreciate that he wants to support her and back her up against the toxic dynamics of her family. I am definitely enjoying this book so far, and I am also contemplating what I'm going to be reading for Face Off Weekend. I'm actually getting kind of excited for the Face Off Weekend. I really love being able to plow through a bunch of really short books all at once. I am going to get back to reading this because when 7 o'clock rolls around and my roommate is off of work, I will be watching Bridgerton, and that will all be all that exists for 4 hours. Because there's no way I'm not watching the whole thing tonight. But I am really, really excited for the second half of Bridgerton to be dropping today. And I cannot wait. I'm excited. Okay, I think I've said that enough times, and I'm gonna go now. So it is Friday, and I completed the Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon book. I ended up giving that a 3.5 star rating. I think, I don't know. I really was enjoying it. There was a point where I started to feel frustrated because the obstacles were becoming repetitive. There was the same issue coming up again and again and not being addressed or identified or even explored. And it was like they had to each hit their same barriers several times before they could solve them. And they didn't, I don't know, it was that watching somebody walk into a wall again and again, and but minus the comedic factor. And I found it frustrating. I understand that that's how things work, that's how issues work, but there was an almost pathological lack of even beginning to address it. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, they did. There was just like no progression in the repetitions, I think is what it was that annoyed me. There was no natural progression. It was just the same issue again and again and again. And I've seen this in other books, and it didn't annoy me the way this did. Maybe it's my mood. Maybe it's the way it's written. I can't really say. But that kept it from being a full 4-star for me. I think that this is a great book, and if you have more patience than I do, then this is definitely not going to be a problem for you. If that is an issue that you find yourself having when you're reading, then maybe be aware that that is an aspect so you can be prepared for it if you decide to pick it up. Editing Val here. So I originally did not plan on ending the vlog here, but as I was going through, I realized that I had way too much between the regular week and face-off weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know that this is the end, and I'll see you next video.
Stars shining bright above me. Night breezes seem to whisper sycamore tree. Dream